And I can tell you so many of the ministers are neither hot nor cold. They're just lukewarm, seated on the fence. Once in a while, we get to hear their names, maybe because they attended an event and gave a speech. But in terms of strides, meaningful ones, to bring about some positive development and benefits to the citizenry, we've not really seen or heard so much from them. Then some are overtly out there, for the wrong reasons, for all the wrong controversies here and there. I'm sure if I ask you, you tell me such ministers. And then some are also have done at least well, to a large extent. You would want to say these ministers have done well. I know we've talked about that before, once upon a time, and we will still visit this because it's still a hot issue on the border. So let's just take the news. Then I would start up on our great debate without wasting time. Now, months after growing calls for the president to rejig his cabinet, the former Lagos State governor on Wednesday sacked 5 of his ministers. Talking about the president now. He sacked 5 of his ministers and also reassigned 10 ministers to new ministerial portfolios and appointed 7 new ministers for Senate confirmation. Tinubu appointed 48 ministers in August of 2023, like we all know. And 3 months after his inauguration, the Senate immediately screened and confirmed the ministers. And one of the ministers, Betta Edu, was suspended in January, while another, Simon Lalong, moved to the Senate. He chose rather to continue with his senatorial duty rather than be in the ministerial cabinet of the president. And there have been growing calls for the president to reshuffle his cabinet, as many Nigerians are not impressed by the performance of some of the ministers, especially in the face of unprecedented inflation, excruciating economic situation, and rising insecurity. Okay? Now, in September, the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, said the president would shuffle his cabinet but didn't give a time for the reorganization. Now, on Wednesday, being yesterday, during the Federal Executive Council, the president sacked Uju Ken Ohane as Minister of Women Affairs. If you ask me, I have a lot of questions as to why Uju has to be, sacked. I mean, I knew that she had controversies here and there, especially with that shouting fit, when she went before a committee before the Senate to answer questions as to financial impropriety and all of that. But I guess also she's been very active when it comes to issues of women. Once upon a time, women will raise issues of abuse, of a lot of issues in gender-based violence and so on and so forth. And we hardly see any action. But Uju would swing into action if, we'll see her swing into action, put out a word, pay a visit. She was just she used to gladden my heart with some of those things. I'm not taking away the fact that she had controversies, of course, but I felt she was really up and doing, especially as it has to do with her ministry. But hey, the president probably has other things up on his mind with regards to Uju. She probably did not meet up, and probably that financial misappropriation allegation is one thing that made him too sack her. Who knows? But Uju Ken Ohane has been sacked as Minister of Women Affairs. Lola De John has been sacked as the Minister of Tourism. Tahir Mamman, Minister of Education, who, for me, if you ask me, and I'm giving you my own opinion, has really he's not been forthcoming or forthright with that portfolio. That, his CV is very impressive, very impressive. He is a proper academician and also an administrator. When they first were appointed, we scrutinized that. And we were kind of glad. But honestly, he just became quiet. Not much was heard. He 1 or 2 times, of course. But the education in the country was just there. Okay? So he's been sacked. And then Abdullahi Gwarzo, as the Minister of State, Housing and Urban Development, was also asked to pack his bags and go, as well as Jamila Ibrahim, who is the Minister of Youth and Youth Development. That is one person too that you hardly get to hear anything about her. We've heard of reports that at some point in time, I reached out for an interview because I was curious, okay, what's happening with the Youth Development Ministry? Now, she's no longer there. Okay. Now, the president has nominated in their place Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu as Minister of State Foreign Affairs, while Nentawe Yilwada as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. Finally, we have someone who's stepping into that place after Betta Edu was taken out. And also, and poverty reduction. Okay, so that's the name of the ministry, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, officially bringing an end to the tenure of suspended Betta Edu. Many people were thinking, okay, is there any likelihood that Betta Edu might come back? But it seems that closure has been made with regards to Betta Edu ever coming back. So right now we have someone who's stepping into that shoes. The president also nominated Megari Ingiadi as the Minister of Labour and Employment, Jumoke Uduole as the Minister of Industry, Idi Maiha as Minister for the newly created Livestock Development Ministry, Yusuf Atta as the Minister of State Housing and Urban Development, with Suwaiba Ahmed as Minister of State Education. Okay. Now, as to the scrapped ministries, the president scrapped the Ministry of Niger Delta Development and announced the Ministry of Regional Development as a replacement to oversee the activities of all the regional development commissions. If you are aware, we have Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, and a whole lot of these commissions have been set. So all of them will now come under the Ministry of Regional Development so that it oversees their activities. The Regional Development Commission is to be under the supervision of the ministry, Niger Delta Development Commission, Southeast Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission, and the Northwest Development Commission. Okay. Tinubu also scrapped Ministry of Sports Development and transferred its functions to the National Sports Commission to develop a vibrant sports economy. One would think that maybe the National Sports Commission will be brought under the ministry, but the ministry has been scrapped. So right now, what we have is the National Sports Commission to develop, a sports economy. Our sports has a lot of repair and revamping and reshaping to do. Honestly, Nigerian sports is almost in a state of, shambles and all of that because of the last minute preparation, the financial impropriety, a lot of chaotic things that tend to happen that brings a lot of embarrassment for us, when the time is needed for us to show ourselves as who we truly are. But then it's a lot of embarrassment. I mean, check out what happened in the last Olympics. That's a story to talk about for another day. So hopefully that might bring the needed change. Some will say, well, maybe not, but who knows? The president further approved the merger of the Federal Ministry of Tourism and the Federal Ministry of Arts and Culture to become the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy. And I think that's a great move, because some of these things with this same administration talking about implementing the Urusanye report and, going down months and nothing much has been done about that. I don't know. Maybe this is part of it. The appointment of Sunday Akindare as a special advisor to the president on public communication and orientation, working from the Ministry of Information and National Orientation, is also there. We also have the cabinet reshuffle also saw Sunday Dare, former Minister of Sports, during the Muhammadu Buhari administration, bag a new appointment. So he's the one now who's been appointed as a special advisor to the president on public communication and orientation, working from the Ministry of Information and National Orientation. And then also the appointment of Shehu Diko as chairman of the National Sports Commission. Okay, so these are some of the changes. The president appreciated the outgoing members of the Federal Executive Council for their service to the nation while wishing them the best in their future endeavors. He then charged the newly appointed ministers as well as their reassigned colleagues to see their appointment as a call to serve the nation. He added that all appointees must understand the administration's eagerness and determination to set Nigeria on the path of irreversible growth and invest the best of their abilities into the actualization of the government priorities. So there we have it, folks, and that's what I want us to all right, hold on, please. So there you have have it. Changes made to the cabinet. We will be pausing for a bit to take a commercial. Then after the commercial, we'll get on with our first set of debaters. I'll be giving you the rule, or let me quickly just reel it out. Basically, the rule of our debate has not changed in any way. It has not changed in any way. So you call, you tell me your name, and then you indicate whether you want to give a thumbs up or you want to give a thumbs down. And then once you do so, you tell us the reason why you think this is a thumbs up in terms of the new appointment, the sacking, and also the mergers of some of the ministries that is now the status quo in the country. If you feel everything is a thumbs down, then you tell me why you think the whole exercise is not going to amount to anything fruitful, okay? You can talk about it from any perspective you want to, in terms of the ministers specifically who are appointed, qualification, suitability for the portfolios. Think about it from any angle, and the mergers, if you think it's going to work or not, and so on and so forth. So that's how we'll be taking it this afternoon. It's 1:17. Let's pause for this quick hype, and then we are right back.
This is an announcement. There's a new salon in town, Sparkles Hair and Nails Salon, opening on the 1st.
Hi everyone, my name is Swat. That's the name my father gave me, but you can always call me Her Vocal Majesty. I'm the host of The Sunny Side on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Name, tell me what position you're taking in terms of a thumbs up or a thumbs down for this recent changes that we've just seen the president do in terms of his cabinet ministers, 5 sacked, 5 newly appointed members also. And also in terms of the mergers of some of these ministries and the outright scrapping of some of these ministries. Okay, so we just go straight on. Dial 0700 951 0000 and 08095974869. 08099930137 is another number to call, and I would love to hear from you. So, let me start with this caller. Hello.
Hello, my name is Tongshin Ngode. I'm calling from Gagwalada.
I didn't get your name, sir.
My name is Tongshin Ngode, and I'm calling from Gagwalada.
Okay, Tongshin, so what's your position? Are you giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
No, I'm giving a thumbs up.
A thumbs up, right? So let me get you.
Right, I mean, it's good.
Let me get you a co-debater. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. All right, I think that did not stay. Somebody else can call back. Tongshin is giving a thumbs up for the appointment, the scrapping, and all the other changes that we've seen happen. Hello?
Good afternoon, ma.
Yes, good afternoon.
Donatus of Niger State.
All right. So are you giving a thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. All right. Tongshinen, your time starts now. Your co-debater is Donatus. Please listen, Donatus, then you respond to Tongshinen after 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Thank God for Nigeria for giving us this opportunity. Why I'm seeing it as a trump of is the fact that just barely, not up to 2 weeks, the president changed his cabinet. I think it's a trump of because it will...
I don't know who has a radio on. Please, can you just switch that off? It's really interfering.
No radio around here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. The thing is that if there is anything, if there is no check and balances, people misbehave generally. No matter even those that are good, if there is nobody to check your behavior, you will misbehave. But this thing that just happened is a clear warning to even the ministers that maybe they were not doing that well, but they managed to escape this first screening out that the president did. They will
Yes. So
this man is watching. This man and the his people are actually monitoring what they are doing. So they will keep up. So it's very, very good that this thing happens. And many of the ministers, even those that were just appointed newly, they will do well. And it will help the president even because the president cannot be everywhere. Managing Nigeria is not an easy thing. Even in the current state we are now, that there are lots of things that have gone wrong with us as a nation. We need to have something that will help make people to want to do well.
All right.
I think it's very, very important.
All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Round up and let's go on.
Yeah, okay. And another thing there is that it will also help the appointees because now we are also helping them to know that, okay, the president is also monitoring us. So now we need to even do more. For example, let's assume now we just had that Minister of FCT also was removed. Many of us will not be happy. Why? Because we know that he's doing well. So now those ministers will even want to even do more. So it will encourage what we call competition even among the ministers. So I think it's good. Let me just stop here first.
All right. Donatus, it's your time to respond.
Thank you very much, my coordinator. I think all eyes on Mr. President. The most important minister we want to reshuffle is the Minister of Petroleum. You understand? I believe everybody is working on Mr. President. If Mr. President can be able to sacrifice that the temple.
Oh, okay. That didn't stay functioning. Unfortunately, Donatus, his line cut off before he could even conclude his point. So, yeah, man, let me just give you some more time to round up your points before we take on the next set.
Okay, and another thing again, the scrapping of some ministries.
All right, just pause so that we can take a quick commercial. Just pause.
Okay. Are you saying I should pause? Okay.
All right, go on. I guess we're having some technical hitches here. Hello?
Okay, yes.
Yes, go ahead. Yes,
scrapping of some ministries and merging of some ministries. Seriously, it's a very good step, bold step taken by the Mr. President. Because there are some people that are managing in Nigeria, creating something like of that nature is easier than scrapping it because of various interests. But the Mr. President was able to be bold enough to say, please, let's match you guys and other ministry. And this bold step will save Nigeria a lot of money because of running of those offices, because there is a minister there running of those offices. And at the end, it's not even adding value to the economy. An office that an ordinary civil servant in the office can do the function. Now you have a minister in charge of that ministry, and you have to be funding that ministry too because of the big man that is in the office. So I think it's something that Nigerians should applaud.
Okay.
And again, this shows clearly that the president actually is, to some extent, is also listening to what is happening. It's just that, like he always said, they have no other option than to take some of the decisions they're taking.
All right.
That is, even though it may look like it's very harsh to the people, but they have to just take it. So it's clear that the Mr. President is also listening to people. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Tongshin, and appreciate that. And sorry to Donatus. We had that I guess your network just didn't allow you stay, to finish your point. But not to worry, we'll still have more debaters come up in a bit. Okay, we continue. We're having a big hitch here, but let's see how we're able to fix that as we continue. Let's take on the next set of debaters. Hello.
Hello, Auntie Swat. Donald is calling back. Can I continue?
Okay, just round up your points so that we can move on to the next set because your co-debater has gone off.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
this is why I'm accusing finger on Mr. President. There is some organization. If you are working there and you want to prove yourself as if you know what you are doing, you understand? You become enemy to others. So all the ministers or the ministers are looking up to Mr. President, especially in the Ministry of Petroleum, for him to perform. You understand? Mistakenly, if you perform more than Mr. President, I'm telling you, they will look at you as if you want to contest for presidency or you are coming out to contest. You understand? I think Mr. President should just sacrifice that ministry and give it a capable hand. That will show to the world that yes, we're up to the task. Not if you like, go and bring somebody from America to become Minister of Petroleum or Minister of Sport or Minister of Finance. You may call it, and it will still remain the same. So all eyes on Mr. President. Mr. President should help us and make the Minister of Petroleum to work.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Donatus. Let's stand by for a quick commercial, and then we are back to continue our debate. Stay with us.
For the ultimate celebration, it's the Cool FM Independence Praise Jam, a night of uplifting worship and high praise.
Join us on the 27th of October at the prestigious Grand Pella Hotel as we praise and honor God. Featuring an incredible lineup of gospel sensation like Victor Thompson, Prosper Chimana, Pastor Elijah Oyelade, K Strings, Moses Akko, E. Daniels, Samuel Folabi, Manus Apanke, Agogo Music, Festizi, Amos, I Made the Gong, Sally Cheesy, Echo Clay, Godfrey God, Corral, Baron J, Clinton Flames, Dan Sachs, and DJ Ernesty. It's a night you don't want to miss. Venue, Grand Pella Hotel. Time, 5 p.m. sharp. Powered by Lexicon Multimedia and Grand Pella Hotel. Come, let's praise together at the Independence Praise Jam. Let's make a joyful noise.
Brought to you by Cool FM.
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying here. Let's continue with our great debate this afternoon. 0700 951 0000 and 08095974869.
This is Sunnyside on 95.1 Nigeria Info.
All right, in view of the recent sacking appointment and reshuffling of some cabinet members, appointment of new people, to serve in different capacities, about 2 of them, and then the scrapping of some ministries, mergers, and all of that. What do you say? Is it a thumbs up or is it a thumbs down? I need people to debate on that this afternoon. So if you feel it's a thumbs up and you want to talk about it from any perspective in terms of the appointees, the ones sacked, why you feel they shouldn't have been sacked, the new appointees, whether they qualify or not, the scrapping of the ministries, those new people who have come into the cabinet of the president to serve in different capacities, just speak from it from any perspective, and we'd love to hear from you. 080 999-30137. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Pastor Swat.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My name is Chris. I'm calling from Jadi.
Okay, Chris.
Yes, this one, thumbs down, looking at the culture, the banza.
Okay. So let me get you a co-debater.
I mean,
All right. Hello. Hello.
hello,
Yes, good afternoon.
good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Habakar calling from Gwagwalada.
Right. So is it a thumbs up or thumbs down for you? Mr. Chris says it's a thumb.
Down.
Okay.
Down,
So
down.
two of you are taking the same place. So I would have to get a co-debater for Chris to actually get some. But Chris, just go on before we get someone who would debate with you.
Yes,
Mhm.
why I say it's a thumbs down is this. There is our local, there's a proverb that says, only in 2010 we went to Canada, meaning that he who has decided to sell his dog to go and buy monkey, it is that the same the way they squat is still there in household. So as far as I'm concerned, changing of those few ministers and swapping some of them does not make any significant change. There is no, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't make any meaning, honestly speaking. Because one, the most difficult, the most important one that is actually suffocating Nigerians is the Minister of Petroleum. Now, the Minister of Petroleum, you have decided not to appoint a substantive minister, and you are the one there. Nobody holds you, nobody questions you. Even though the check and balance that we are supposed to have in our system here is almost dead. Because one, you are the one who determine who becomes the chairman of the National Assembly. That seems to be dancing to your tone. So how does the check and balance work? Now you are the substantive minister of petroleum. Nobody there questions you. Whatever you do, whatever you say, what you have is the OES group. Those in the past say hi, everybody hi. Those against say everybody nay. We don't even know where we are. So nobody questions him. He's the Alpha and the Omega. So as far as I'm concerned, those people who he has decided to swap and pass some to bring in some, we don't make any difference because they are the same people, the OES group. Okay? Now, apart from that one, how did you go to scatter Niger Delta Ministry? Because I said in the morning to someone, I said, he who is not present when they bury corpse will most likely ensure that corpse from the leg. Because he was not there to know the position of that corpse. It's a food for thought. He was not part of the arrangement to bring peace to Niger Delta. And I feel that those who advised him to go and touch that Niger Delta Ministry, it was an ill advice. And I am very sure that the statements and reactions will be coming from that zone in no distant time. So the long and short of the whole thing here is that the policy or the people who are formulating policy to give this old man to implement, he doesn't even understand what they are asking him to do. Probably because those people want to feed on ignorance as well of those who are the man in power. Because he doesn't seem to understand that what they are doing is injurious to his government and his belief. Honestly speaking, they are not advising him very well. You can take this word to the bank that those increasing power. What is happening to the Ministry of Power? Why did they remove the man there? And with the shouting, see the petroleum like the organization. There is no difference. The what you have here is the people who are encouraging you are doing well, you are doing well. From 100, something like you now have another 1,000 of fuel that everybody is gasping for air. People cannot even put in their own houses. And you think you are doing well. Anytime you are moving in any direction, and the direction seems to be, free, like free will, no impediment, nothing. You better look well. It could be that you are going down the hill. Because when you are making a very good progress, sometimes you will be feeling it from your legs. But here in saying the chest and a progress in the neck, because you don't say that downhill in the go. And those who are actually starting Hosanna now to tomorrow, there will be the some people that will not shout crucify Tinubu, crucify Tinubu.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chris. You've done a good job. Appreciate it. It's a solo thing, though. Your co-debater happened to be on the same side. So, right. We still are taking callers. Let's know which side of this debate you're taking. Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Let me take this WhatsApp call. Hello? Hello? Okay. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Tell us your name and what side of the debate you're on.
From my voice, I will be on the side of Mr. President.
Okay.
I remember Mustafa Bakar Ali, aka and Ali Babang Ali.
All right.
I'm on the side of Mr. President.
All right, so that's a thumbs up. Let's pick up your co-debater here, hopefully. Hello.
Hello, Swat.
Yes, good afternoon.
My name is Ken.
We can't hear you. No. We can't hear you. Please call back. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Abubakar calling from Gwagwalada. Thumbs down.
All right. So, Abubakar Ali and our dear Abubakar from Gwagwalada, you're up heads up against each other. So, Abubakar Ali, please, you start, and then Abubakar from Gwagwalada will respond. Go ahead.
All right, Your Excellency, Barrister Swat, thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity. You see, there, if you are not on the table, if you are not on the seat, on the driver's seat, believe you me, whatever the passenger will say whatever you say, the passengers will not understand, because it is you that is on the driver's seat that understand what the braking system is talking. You don't understand what the sound of the engine is talking about. All what the passenger is after is for you to take them to their safe destination. I heard a lot of my debaters saying, why didn't he relinquish the position of Minister of Petroleum? Barrister Swat, will he matter in as much as Mr. President has interest in the Minister of Petroleum? Even if he appoint the same person, saying why should he not appoint another person? Will he do anything different? Will the Minister of Petroleum carry any decision, take any decision without input on the President, as long as his interest is there? What we want is to have a functional refinery, to have a very robust petroleum sector. And if Mr. President believes holding that portfolio will guarantee that, I have absolutely no problem with that. I want to reiterate and make a categorical statement here. The rot in Nigeria did not start under Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. The downward spiral of dollar did not start under Bola Ahmed administration, though he made an erroneous policy pronouncement the very day he assumed office. And the only way he can do that, look, subsidy can still remain removed and price of fuel will fall. How will he do that? Minister of Finance continue to pump the money into foreign reserve and ensure that Naira continue to gain strength. If Naira can gain strength and become 1,000 Naira today, fuel will be less than 500. If Naira will gain strength and become 700 at the parallel market as they met it, fuel will be less than 300. And if you can do the magic to leave the official price as they met it at 460 when Buhari was leaving, even though that was an audio 460. If you can do that, believe me, fuel will sell at less than 150. So the road did not start 16 months ago. This man, in fact, I begin to gain confidence in him, in what he did. The last time we have cabinet reshuffle, the last time we have minister sack was during Goodluck Jonathan. This is Buhari that do 8 years. Ministers serve 8 years in one position. We complain. We say, why don't you do that? And this man, this minister just spent 11 months. And he has already given them their KPI. He's the one that appointed them and he's the one that gave them KPI.
All right.
And since they have not met up, he said them. The ability to hire
2 minutes is up.
Strictly lying in his hands.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Malam Abubakar, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Dangaluba Bangali. It is unfortunate. I want to ask few questions. What are strategies? What are the agenda priority of this government in some sector, like in tourism, in housing, in sport development, in youth development, etc., etc. And appointed minister cannot act beyond his power, beyond his mandate, beyond the vision of Mr. President. So most of these ministers should not be blamed. They are contending with financial consequences. On the inception of this government, immediately without taking long, we see empower minister, like Minister of Work and Housing. He rolled out a pet project of Mr. President. That is the Calabar Super Highway. It's a Mr. President pet dream. It is one of his priority projects. So most of the, and you see how Wike is carrying out infrastructural expansion. He has the backing of Mr. President. So most of the ministers, they feel inferior. They are not empowered financially. The government lacks vision and mandate in their area of focus. So most of the ministers, that is why they are not making impact. They do not make any significant impact. And coming to Mr. President, double it as a minister of petroleum is abuse of office. We are in democracy. In democracy, there is separation of power. We have the executive and those members of the cabinet who are supporting Mr. President. We have the legislature, the judiciary. All their duties and responsibilities are spelled out in Constitution. For Mr. President to double it as a minister, and I'm asking again, Barrister Swat, do you observe any dynamism in our foreign policy? Mr. President, even double it again as a foreign minister a foreign minister, because he spent more days abroad, from Chechnya, from Dubai to Hong Kong to Paris, all over. Our foreign minister is an errand boy of President Tinubu.
All right.
So this reshuffling is nothing, just an element of bureaucratic process.
All right.
It will not have impact on the ruling masses.
All right, thank you so much, Abakar Ali. It's time for you guys to go heads up now as we begin to round up on this session. Any opposition?
Good. Your Excellency, Barrister Swat, you see, that is the problem we're having. It's very good to be a critic of the government. You understand? But it's very good. It's very bad to be sadistic. Whatever government does to you is wrong. Whatever positive initiative they are bringing to you is wrong. The president has not violated any aspect of the constitution for holding the Ministry of Petroleum. What does the constitution say? The constitution says every state is entitled to the position of minister. I want him to tell me, as any state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria not have a representative as a minister? The answer is no. If you want to quote the constitution, quote it and quote it right. Mr. President has fulfilled that aspect. Every state has its rightful representation according to the constitution. So it will not be anything there. If he deem it fit to relinquish Ministry of Petroleum Resources for any capable hand, that is within his purview. He has the ability to hire and fire. And the other position that says some ministry, you see, that's the major problem, Barrister, that's what we're having as a people. And there is opposition. If you want to do opposition, do it a progressive opposition. You understand? Not a condemnation sort of opposition. Anything that government does for him is wrong. Okay, tell us the right thing. It's just like you, that you are a father and you are trying to better the life of your children that don't even understand the bigger picture of what you are doing. And your children will say, whatever move Baba makes is a wrong move. Come on, who will tolerate that? The man is there. If you go, look, how many ministers have you visited? I have visited at least 4 ministers. Barrister Swat, one of the ministers, when I visited the office, I am the number 86 person visitor. Number 86. And more people were coming after I came. If he's allowed to only see visitors, which work will we do? That's not Mr. President. You have not been there. You don't know what these guys are going through. You understand? You don't know what the guys are doing.
Gentlemen,
come and be condemning. If you are doing, what will you do? Give us the idea of how to reduce dollar to 1 naira. Give us, if you have it.
All right.
We will definitely oblige and do the right thing.
Thank you.
We want this country to move forward, and it will surely move forward. And let me make one last categorical statement.
Thank you.
Tinubu will win 2027 election. Tinubu has no opposition. I said it today. Tinubu will win 2022 unopposed.
All right.
Who is the person that come and contest with him?
Thank you.
Nobody.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, the two Abubakars. That was very interesting. and very fiery too. Appreciate that. Really, really love that, head to head. Okay, so that's it. Thumbs up or thumbs down for the recent cabinet shakeup and changes that we've seen the president introduce into his administration. I would love to have those opposing and those supporting, and give us your point as you debate this afternoon. Let's take on this. Okay, that call just went off. Let me just quickly read messages as we come back to more. Hi, Swat. How are you? When are you visiting again? We've missed you. Love. Okay. I will come pretty soon. Funky, I will definitely come soon. Let's talk one of these days and make that arrangement. Okay, Her Vocal Majesty, greetings. The changing of the Niger Delta Ministry is a master stroke to cater for other regions' development commission. Sports Commission will now squarely face sports issues than being bogged down by bureaucracy and sports ministry. 7 ministries, that's Edu and Lalong, were removed, and 7 appointed. 2 ministries were removed and 1 new one added. Thumbs up for the sagacity of the president. After 2 weeks working vacation studying Halima Bala's assessment, Banki Inutako wrote that. Thank you. Madam Swat, were those ministers really removed for poor performance? The Minister of State for Petroleum and the GMD of NNPCL would have remained in their position. Wouldn't have remained in their position then, and Tinubu himself is supposed to have recused himself from the position of minister, because the problem in the oil sector is beyond subsidy removal. There's problem of scarcity that he's presiding over, but whatever is behind the replacement remains. It's your turn. Come and eat in the minds of Nigerians who have followed the events under him carefully. Judges are also being settled for the jobs done and the ones he anticipates from them in a post-future election. These are some allegations you're raising there, Mr. Israel. I don't know what you're talking about, though. Good afternoon, Madam Swat. To me, sacking of some ministers will not solve any problem. President Tinubu, as a Minister of Petroleum, should do the needful. Owecho John from Lugbe sends that in. Thank you. It's thumbs down. There is no headway in this administration as long as the head is not fit. The head is not sound to lead its members. Nigerians were not calling for reshuffle or sack of ministers. Rather than the head should change his policies that is hitherto affecting the generality of us negatively. What you will soon be hearing is give them time, then 4 years will end smoothly. It's a ploy to shut us up, says OGB 1. People think that transferring Mrs. Doris Anite from Trade and Investment Ministry to Ministry of State Finance is demotion. No, the president has moved her there to teach Wale doing finance and fiscal works, of which no sabi. Small time now, she will take over, I hope. Meanwhile, thank God we don't have to see better Edo, plenty makeup and plenty church. Anslam Amarike from Kuchingo said that in. Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, Swat. Tommy Grandpa, your message is not coming in. No, it's not coming in. I will come back to it again if it drops. Please, what about the 7 youth corner minister retained or sacked? The 7 youth corner ministry or minister. The Minister of Youth and Sports has also been sacked. Minister of Youth, sorry, not Youth and Sports, because it's no longer that, right? That also has had to go. Good afternoon, Swat says Hafsat. Thank you so much. Let's come back to the phone lines after this one. Zach said, good afternoon, Swat. Vocal Majesty, welcome to the mic. The president reshuffling his cabinet is nothing but a mere non-impactful one. Why didn't he use his hammer on himself as a Minister of Petroleum? Because one of the underperforming ministry or Minister of Defense, Power, Agriculture, Finance should have not been in office till now. The president needs to show great intent by honorably allowing a technocrat and a petrochemical engineer to assume that portfolio. At least our young ones and our parents can now breathe from those obsolete policies that the former Minister of Education was trying to enforce on our young ones. It's a thumbs down for me, says Zax. Let me take this one. Okay, Thompson from Gorincha said, good afternoon, Swat. The president's evaluation, are those 5 sacked ministers the only underperforming ministers in his cabinet, as the country is generally bastardize and abrupt inefficiency and corruption in this administration. Who evaluated the president's misappropriating policies that has landed Nigeria in seeming quagmire? He removed 5 and brought in 7 more ministers, and yet they keep deceiving gullible Nigerians that Nigerians don't have money. Citizens should keep bearing hardship, hunger, and pain and anguish because they don't have the power to challenge the president's wrong policies. What an abruptly corrupt administration. The president should always note that power is transient, says Thompson. Right, let's come back here. Hello. Okay, that did not stay. Hello.
Hello, Swat. Good afternoon. Are you hearing me now?
Oh, yes, loud and clear now. Thank you so much.
My name is KD. I'm calling from Gogolada.
Okay, Mr. KD, what's your position?
Thumb down the drain for Mr. President.
All right, thumbs down, says Mr. KD. Hold on, Mr. KD. Hold on, please. Let me get to your co-debater, sir.
Okay, I hope my line will allow me.
Okay, that's the thing. Hello?
Go ahead, just be fast about it.
All right, let me see. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
It's Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Coming all the way from Austria.
Welcome, Sunshine, from Rwanda to Austria. You're welcome. Yes.
Now school we dey go.
That's
for
good.
Old age.
So you want to participate in the debate?
Yeah. I want to continue from where Abubakar stopped.
Okay, so you are saying
As
the thumbs
in,
up, right?
As in,
okay.
I want to continue from where he stopped.
Okay, Mr. KD is waiting. Let him make his point, then you now respond to him. Mr. KD, please go ahead. Your time starts now.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. I say thumbs down for Mr. President.
Tell us why.
Because it's not enough to reject the ministers. That's not what we're talking about. Reject the ministers based on the fact that they are not performing, and those who are not performing, we can see on ground they are not performing. But generally speaking, there is nothing on ground that anybody is performing. Just come to the street, come to the road, come to the town and see whether you feel them. When you feel the pulse of Nigerians, you know that none of them is performing, including Mr. President. The other time, Senator Fabio told us that Mr. President goes out in the night to see the suffering of Nigeria. Whom do you meet in the night? For goodness sake, that's a statement. Whom do you meet in the night? Let him come out in the daytime and see the queue that people are passing through, still at the price of fuel that are given to us. And Mr. President is the president of petroleum. Why must we hold on to that position? There is just no need. There are people who have capable hands that can look and can take the Minister of Petroleum and give us results. If somebody is referring to Constitution, American Constitution is just some few pages. But everything is contained there because of the convention on ground. The convention is that Mr. President should hand over ministries, give them to his cabinet, let them handle it. He will supervise them. Now, who is supervising Mr. President or petroleum? Nobody. So whatever he does, whether there are queue or there are no queue, he wouldn't know. And that's not good enough. So we cannot say because it's not written in the Constitution, so he can hold the Minister of Petroleum. Conventionally, it's not done like that. Where in the world? I'm talking about advancing Mr. President. People have been advancing President here. Every day, Nigeria for your number one. You bring people who are experts in their own field. They have said a lot of things, especially Dr. Mujib. He has said a lot of things that if we have people who are listening, but our problem with them is that those who are supporting government and the government itself, they don't want to listen. All they want to say is that the critic. They refuse to take the aspect of the criticism that is helping them. And they stay on the line that because they are critical. If you don't criticize them, what will you do? And there are a lot of criticism here giving them the way forward. Which one are they taking? Even for the issue of this, the Naira versus
all right.
Putin has said a lot of things. What do we do?
Thank you.
President, no government anywhere in the world just come on here and say subsidy is removed. Your currency is reduced.
Thank you, Mr. KD.
I'm not ready to listen.